Welcome back to the class, students. In the last class, I was discussing about the inner ear and I have completed about semicircular canals. So, these are semicircular canals, and today I want to continue with this inner ear topic and want to discuss about the other parts of inner ear like vestibule and cochlea. So, let me discuss one by one. See, this part after semicircular canals is known as vestibule. So, this vestibule is having two important regions. One is utricle and second one is saccule. The utricle is having a ridge, this red color part. Saccule is also having ridge. Actually, these two are arranged perpendicularly, and utricle is having a ridge and saccule is having a ridge. The ridge of both utricle and saccule is known as a macula. So, vestibule is having utricle, vestibule is having saccule, and both utricle and saccule both are having macula. If you see this macula region is also having hair cells. See, these are hair cells and these are hair cells having hair cells. So, macula contain hair cells and macula also having receptors for gravity. You know, the crista ampullaris is also having receptors for gravity. Macula is also having receptors for gravity. This utricle, saccule, macula together known as otolith organ. Utricle, saccule and macula together called otolith organ. Utricle plus saccule. So, both are having macula. Macula is equal to otolith organ because the vestibule having utricle saccule within the macula. See, if I enlarge one macula region, within the macula region there are white colored calcium carbonate crystals present. This is macula, and these calcium carbonate crystals are known as otoliths, also called otoconia. These otoliths are nothing but crystals that are made up of calcium carbonate, and these otoliths will respond in relation to our head movement with the help of gravity. So, while we are tilting our head, turning our head, the movement of otoconia can be seen. When there is disturbance in this, there will be a condition arised related to the ear called vertigo. Next, so macula is having otoliths. They are calcium carbonate crystals. They will show the movement in response to the movement of head, tilting of head. Because of otoliths, the utricle saccule together called otolith organ. And what is the function of otolith organ? Otolith organ meant for linear acceleration. And in this linear acceleration, utricle saccule will have two different linear accelerations. See, both utricle saccule together called linear acceleration. In that, utricle saccule, if you see, saccule is responsible for vertical acceleration and it is horizontal. So, while we are moving in lift, the balance of the body in relation to the head is maintained by saccule. While we are moving in car, that is horizontal. The balance of our body in relation to the position of our head is maintained by utricle. So, both moving in lift, moving in car, both are coming under the linear acceleration. So, that total linear acceleration is the function of otolith organ. So, this is about vestibule. You know, vestibule is also a bony labyrinth. Next, after that, the next part is cochlea, very important part. And before going to the cochlea, I want to tell you one more point here. So, what are the parts of otolith organ? Utricle and saccule. So, otolith means utricle and saccule. You know, otolith plus semicircular canals together known as vestibular apparatus, and this vestibular apparatus is responsible for equilibrium. So, which equilibrium? Otolith is related to the equilibrium related to the linear acceleration, and semicircular canals are related to the equilibrium related to the angular acceleration. So, semicircular canals otolith together called vestibular apparatus, so that its function is equilibrium. And from the base of all these parts, which are the part of vestibular apparatus, the nerve endings together forms a nerve that is going to the cerebellum, which is the part of hindbrain. You know, I told you cerebellum can integrate the impulses that are received by semicircular canals. Yes, the signals from the semicircular canals, that means vestibular apparatus, will go to the cerebellum with the help of a branch of auditory nerve known as vestibular nerve. It is the branch of auditory. So, that nerve is related to the equilibrium. Utricle is related to equilibrium, saccule is related to equilibrium, semicircular canals are also related to equilibrium. Then which part is related to the maintenance or analyzing the sound signals? That is cochlea. So, let me tell you about cochlea. Cochlea is watch spring like. Cochlea is also made up of bone and membrane. So, I want to discuss about the structure of cochlea. So, regarding the structure of cochlea, listen carefully. TS of cochlea I am explaining. So, it is having a, regarding the TS, of cochlea, the cochlea consists of 3 tubes. This is tube 1, next this one is tube 2, and this is tube 3. So, 3 tubes. Here I want to show you how those 3 tubes, like this, tube 1, tube 2, tube 3. This is bony, these red color are membranous. The same thing I am explaining here, 3 tubes. Out of these 3 tubes, this upper tube is called scala vestibuli. This inner tube is known as scala tympani, and this middle tube is called scala media. So, there are 3 tubes in cochlea. So, this is cochlea structure. Regarding the cochlea structure, there are 3 tubes: scala vestibuli, scala media, and scala tympani. The scala vestibuli is separated from the scala media by a membrane. This membrane is called Reissner's membrane. The scala media is separated from scala tympani by another membrane. This membrane is called basilar membrane. This is very, very important, basilar membrane, which is separating scala tympani from scala media. And scala vestibuli is bony labyrinth. As it is bony labyrinth, it is having perilymph. So, this is perilymph, which is there in the vestibuli. And you know, tympani is also bony labyrinth, and it is also having perilymph. So, this is perilymph. This one also perilymph. And what is there in scala media? This is having endolymph. So, I want to discuss about this structure, particularly the points that are above the basilar membrane. Above the basilar membrane, there are hair cells. Listen carefully. Basilar membrane is having hair cells. At the tip of the basilar cells, the hairy projections are there, also called stereocilia. So, these are hair cells. Hair cells are located on the basilar membrane. And hair cells are having stereocilia, nothing but hair. Covering this hair cells within the endolymph. See, this whole thing is occupied by the endolymph. Within the endolymph, there is an elastic membrane is present. This red color, this is that elastic membrane. That elastic membrane is called tectorial membrane. These hair cells, stereocilia, tectorial membrane that is located over the basilar membrane is said to be the most important part, organ of Corti. Organ of Corti. And you know, this is the part where the sound waves, also called pressure waves, are transduces into electrical signal. You know, in the ear, at which part the light rays transduces into electrical stimulus? Photoreceptor layer. In the eye. In the ear, at which part the sound waves connected into electrical potential? The answer is organ of Corti. Organ of Corti is having hair cells, organ of Corti is having tectorial membrane. Tectorial membrane is elastic membrane, and these hair cells are located over the basilar membrane, and I can say organ of Corti is embedded within the endolymph. Within the endolymph. So, this is endolymph. Next, towards the tip, so this is scala tympani, this one is scala media. They are connected with the help of a narrow aperture. That narrow aperture is known as a helicotrema. And from the base of hair cells, from the base, this is base, this one is apex. Apex is having stereocilia. From the base, there are some nerve endings unite to form a branch of auditory nerve. This branch of auditory nerve is called cochlear nerve. Remember, cochlear nerve is the branch of auditory nerve. Auditory nerve is a cranial nerve whose number is 8. It is having two branches. One branch is vestibular branch. Vestibular branch is related to semicircular canals, utricle saccule, and responsible for the balance of the body. Second branch is cochlear nerve. This cochlear nerve will carry the electric stimulus related to the sound waves to the primary auditory area of cerebrum. That I will discuss in mechanism. So, this is about the structure of cochlea, TSF cochlea, and it is also having both bony and membranous labyrinths. Resinous membrane can separate the scala vestibuli from media, and basilar membrane is separating the scala media from tympani. Vestibuli and tympani are having perilymph, scala media is having endolymph. So, this is the structure of cochlea. Now, let me discuss some more points, very important points here. The scala vestibuli, see, if it is the bony partition, this one is the oval window and this is the round window. Listen carefully. If it is cochlea, this is scala vestibuli. This one is a scala tympani. Remember, very important points I am telling you. Scala vestibuli ends at the oval window. Scala tympani ends at the round window. Scala vestibuli at the oval window, scala tympani at the round window. I will write those points. Scala vestibuli ends at oval window. Next point is scala tympani ends at a round window. And I can say one more point here. If it is a oval and it is a round, this is incoming, this is for outgoing. The sound waves that are entering into the inner ear from middle ear through oval window, if a pressure exceeds in the inner ear, those pressure waves will come out through the round window. See the point? Sound waves are entering through oval window, and from the inner ear, if any pressure waves are excess, those pressure waves they'll exit from the inner ear through round window. So incoming aperture is oval window, outgoing aperture is a round window. Both are membranous. Both are membranous. Now let me discuss about the mechanism of hearing. I will discuss the events one by one regarding the mechanism of hearing. So in mechanism of hearing, the first point is suppose if it is a pinna receive the sound waves. Sound waves travel through auditory and then tympanum. So the points I will write. So pinna receive pressure waves, the first point. Second point, the sound waves travel through auditory canal and then tympanum vibrate. Second point is waves travel through external auditory meatus. Third point, when tympanum receive the pressure waves, the tympanum vibrate. The fourth point, when tympanum vibrate, so those pressure waves from the tympanum is taken by malleus, malleus to incus, incus to stapes. So while the pressure waves are passing through the malleus, incus, stapes, they will amplify the pressure waves. So next, after tympanum vibrate, ear ossicles, amplify the pressure waves. This is fourth point. Next point, through this stapes, from the oval window, the sound waves enter into the scala vestibuli. I told you scala vestibuli ends at a oval window. So from ear ossicles to the oval window to cochlea. So after cochlea, especially scala vestibuli receive sound waves from oval window. So this is fifth point. Next, what is the sixth point? So this is cochlea. This one is vestibuli, this one is media, this one is tympani. From the vestibuli, sound waves will travel through the perilymph. So they will create waves in that perilymph. Create waves. Those waves can cause ripples, some circular movements. So ripples occur in fluid like perilymph. Because of those ripples in these waves, listen carefully. The basilar membrane, as waves are there and ripples are there in the fluid, the basilar membrane will move up and down. Where it moves up and down, on the basilar membrane, we know already there are hair cells, stereocilia, and above that there is a membrane, elastic membrane called tectorial membrane, and total this is endolymph. Listen carefully. When this basilar is moving up and down, suppose this is basilar, it is moving up and down, and these are stereocilia. So, when it is moving up and down, the stereocilia are pressed against the tectorial membrane. So, that is called a mechanical signal, very, very important. That pressing is a kind of pressure, mechanical signal. When pressure is applied over that, to that pressure, the potassium gates present in the hair cell membrane will open. They are called mechanically gated channels, very, very important point. The mechanically, they are opening due to the pressure, hence they are called mechanically gated potassium channels. And you know, I told you endolymph is having more amount of potassium. When mechanically gated potassium channels open in response to the mechanical signal, the potassium rushed into the hair cells. So, influx of potassium can develop a positive charge inside the hair cells and causing the depolarization, then action potential will generate. I will write the point here, listen carefully. When ripples occur in the perilymph, hair cells pressed against tectorial membrane, that will cause opening of, very, very important, opening of mechanically gated K plus channels in the hair cell membrane. That opening in causing movement of sodium from endolymph into the hair cells. I can say, sorry, movement of potassium into the endolymph. That is called potassium influx. That results in potassium influx. You know, in normal neurons, the depolarization is caused by the influx of sodium, but here it is quite different. Here, the action potential is generating inside the hair cells due to the influx of potassium. Influx of potassium, generation of action potential results in generation of action potential. So, after generation of action potential, now that signal is taken by the cochlear nerve, I told you, and cochlear nerve carry that to, this is cochlear nerve. So, action potential is generating at the hair cells. From the hair cells, that action potential is traveling through cochlear nerve. So, AP travel through cochlear nerve, and cochlear nerve will give the signal to primary auditory area, which is present in our temporal lobe of cerebrum. There, that sound signal is analyzed and we can able to recognize what kind of sound that is. So, this is about mechanism. Pinna receive pressure waves, waves travel through the auditory meters, then tympanum vibrate, ear ossicles amplify the pressure waves. Through the ear ossicles, the pressure waves enter into the cochlea through oval window. Then there are ripples in the fluid. Those ripples can move the fluid up and down so that the hair cells are pressed against tectorial membrane. Because of that mechanical pressing, the mechanically gated potassium channels present in the hair cell membrane open, potassium influx, generation of action potential taken by the cochlear nerve and carried to the primary auditory area for cerebral cortex, especially temporal lobe. There the sound waves are analyzed. So, this is about a mechanism of hearing. Next, let me tell you some more additional points related to the nervous system. You know, nervous system is also associated with several disorders. Among those, one is Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is nothing but memory loss. And Alzheimer's, just outline I would like to give you about the disorders of nervous system. Few points. One is Alzheimer's, second one is Parkinson's. Third one is cerebrovascular accident, also called brain attack. And fourth one is meningitis. Let me discuss these four. Alzheimer's is nothing but memory loss. Memory loss due to the death of neurons. And it may be age related, it may be genetical, it may be environmental, and many other reasons are also there for Alzheimer's. And because of death of neurons, there will be deficiency of acetylcholine. So, deficiency of acetylcholine will lead to Alzheimer's. In this condition, people are unable to recognize the recent events. In severe cases, they can't even recognize their family members. Next, Parkinson's, damage to the motor area. Motor area damage. When motor area is damaged, it is also called progressive disorder. When motor area is damaged, the signals that are going to the different muscles get disturbed, so that there will be disturbance in the movements, there will be disturbance in the sleep cycles, there will be disturbance even in balance of the body. So, that is there in Parkinson's. Next, cerebrovascular attack. This is important. This is caused due to the blocks in blood vessels that are supplying blood to the brain. When blocks are there, that will lead to less oxy blood supply, which is called ischemia. That ischemia leads to the death of many neurons there. Thereby that particular part of the brain will not work. Hence, it will result in what? You know, the people are unable to move some body parts of one side. The people are unable to understand and speak, especially to one side of the body, which is nothing but paralysis. So, blocks will lead to paralysis due to cerebrovascular accident. Next one is meningitis. Meningitis is nothing but inflammation of meninges. You know, meninges are the protective layers of the brain and spinal cord. So, these are the some disorders related to the nervous system. So, nervous system disorders. And before concluding the topic, let me synchronize the ear topic briefly. External ear receiving the sound waves. Regarding the middle ear, ear ossicles amplifies the sound waves. Ear receive the sound waves through the inner ear receive the sound waves through the oval window, and sound waves are coming out through the round window. Next, the part of the ear where the sound waves transduces into action potential is organ of Corti. Organ of Corti. Pressure waves transduces into action potential. That action potential will go to the primary auditory area of the brain through the cochlear nerve. So, thank you students. So, with this I would like to conclude the nervous system topic. Thank you very much.